Most people roll into the Seder and they know this part. So then what's the point? We have to delve deeper to understand what's really going on. Every moment has a theme, and every nuance matters. And when you go through it, you come out a different person. So that's what we're going to explore together. The themes, the lessons, the reasons, the purpose. Because that's what this is really all about. The Haggadah continues and pivots. One thing you'll see again and again is constant pivoting, because it's bringing up lots and lots of these micro themes to build this base to put the diamond on. And Haggadah now says, Afilu Kula Chachomim, Nevonim, Zakenim, Yodim es Torah. The Haggadah says, even if you know everything, mitzvah leinu l'saper b'tzias Mitzrayim, you still have to tell the story of b'tzias Mitzrayim. V'chol hamarbeh l'saper b'tzias Mitzrayim harei ze meshubach. The Haggadah now says something very interesting that we miss, which is another value for caring, which is repeating, expounding, expanding. When you look at something as a limited form of knowledge or something, there comes an end to it. But if you look at something as a pathway to the infinite, you know that it'll never end, right? Love, so to speak, never ends. So when you go down the pathway of love, you don't get to the end and go, got it, I felt every form of love in my life. It doesn't work like that. However, a book may end, a story may end, food may end. There's limit and limitless. Torah is limitless. The cover, the story, is just the cover to get you to go deep. Earlier we spoke about the idea of questions to go deep. But it's not just questions. It's a desire to hear it again and again, and to expand and expound and expand and expound. This idea is really what's driving the whole narrative. I remember years ago hearing, sort of this explanation as to why Tom Brady was one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Now, for those who don't know football, Tom Brady is a mediocre, talented quarterback that came out of the draft at 199th pick, walked into the NFL and became one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. And everyone's trying to figure out why. So I saw this, I heard about this interview that he did, and when he explained what was his secret. And his secret, believe it or not, was repetition. Meaning, he knew he wasn't the most talented guy. He knew he wasn't the greatest athlete, and he wasn't. And he knew that the only way he can get ahead is repeating, getting it again and again and again and again. And he would watch what's called game film. In football, they tape everything. And they give each player basically the ability, almost like a screen and like a mouse, to go back and forth and watch and watch and watch. And Tom Brady decided that what he was going to do is watch the game so frequently that he was going to be able basically to know what the players on the other side think even before they think it. Every tell, every move, every play, he was going to understand the depths of the game to such a level that he would know it better than anybody else. You see, he took something called football, which is limited, and he delved as deep as he could. Why? Because he understood that only by repeating and expounding and expanding again and again and again and again will new things become revealed. Will new moves become apparent, where new tells will become clear. And so he'll see that there's a player who's a lineman who every time he calls a blitz changes, he starts to refasten his gloves on his hands, and he doesn't even know he's doing it, but Brady does. And so when he sees the gloves being shifted and changed, he knows something's happened. He knows the whole game, not because he got it because he was brilliant. No brilliance in the world can get you to understand the intricacies of football on the first shot, on the second shot, on the 10th shot. The most brilliant players and the most brilliant coaches review it again and again and again and again. They watch film after film after film after film. Why? Because they're trying to become so familiar. They're trying to go within the game to pull out the principles. Haggadah is saying, watch the film. Haggadah is saying, listen, You don't graduate from Yetzias Mitzrayim. This is the foundational story of our people. There's a reason why we have a mitzvah to say it all the time, every day. It's Shema, morning, afternoon. We're constantly saying, there's a reason why the night of emunah, the night in which we pass the baton, we sit down and tell this story. There's a reason why we're always saying, Zecher Yetzias Mitzrayim, Zecher Yetzias Mitzrayim, again and again, every holiday, every shot. We're constantly, why? Why? We know it already. No, you don't know it already. Don't resist. If you know the whole Torah, and you're a Chacham, and a Navon, and a Zaken, you got it. Torah on your fingertips. Even then, you're praiseworthy. Meshubach. Meshubach means to be praiseworthy. That's what we say. We're constantly saying that in davening. We call Hashem Meshubach. Ishtabach. Right? Shevach. You want to know what it means to be praiseworthy. Praiseworthy is having the patience to say, I know the story, I want to hear it again. I know the story, I want to go through it again. Now, think about how brilliant this is. The Haggadah is saying, we're about to get to the story. Don't be such a tough guy. Do me a favor. Like, check your wisdom at the door over here. Like, don't roll in, like, looking at your watch going, when are we eating? I know this. We've been saying this throughout the Haggadah, but now they're drilling at home. If you're on the table, and you are all those things, you still need to do it. Because when you review it and repeat it and repeat it and repeat it and repeat it, you'll bring out new principles and new plays, and it's infinite. It's not football. It's spirituality. It's Hashem. It's the mission of why you exist. You're not a quarterback for a game. You're a quarterback for Hashem. And so when we sit at that table and we see this line, and we say to ourselves, I'm not that. So I definitely need to get this. And even if I've heard it, I got to lean in. I got to hear it again. I got to figure out why it applies to me this year. I got to find a new principle. If you go into the Seder this year looking for a new principle, a new insight, a new understanding, you're playing this game. You're in the world of the Haggadah. And so the Haggadah continues and sets us up and says, before we get to the story, we didn't get to the story yet. Before we get to the story, remember, there's something here for you this year. There's something new. Never stop. This is an infinite sea. Just put on your scuba gear and go deeper, because as you go deeper, you'll find more stuff. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining us for this series. I hope that you enjoyed, and I hope that it enhances your Seder and brings you closer to Hashem. We have some cliff notes for you in case you want a Seder companion. You can download it. Check out the series and the downloadable stuff at pesach.us. pesach.us. And hope you have a great holiday, and may we see the full redemption soon.